InMusic.com.
Continuing that discussion that we just had with Jeff Carroll, great advice, by the way. I'm joined here in studio by Linda Nicholls of IMC Solutions. Linda's a returning guest on the program, and last time provided some great advice that I know very beneficial to our listeners, both employers as well as folks in transition. So you run a boutique recruiting firm, and I want to sort of pick those words apart. Tell us why IMC Solutions, why you are a boutique recruiter and a boutique recruiting firm.
Great question. Thank you, Shalom. Well, just as you think of a boutique clothing store as a place where you would walk in and custom order a suit that is going to fit you perfectly, a boutique recruiting firm does the same thing for its clients. We're going to customize our approach, our services, and our expertise to your business for that position that you need to fill.
So just to refresh our listeners, tell us a little bit about some of the positions that you recruit for that, again, as a boutique recruiter, you don't just do anything. You're very focused, and it sounds like you could provide a great value to many companies in the Chicagoland area in helping them find their talent. But what kind of companies are ideal?
Well, we serve every industry, truly, but our niche areas of expertise are in recruiting recruiters and human resource professionals, as well as sales. That being said, there probably is not a business profession that we haven't recruited for over the years, including finance, operations, administration. Really, as long as it's within the business realm, we've filled those positions, engineering, IT.
So many of our listeners, they're listening to the radio, they hear the ads for the various websites that say, post your job here, and we'll post it on a million websites, and you'll attract the talent that you need. You'll fill the position in no time. You and I have laughed about this in the past, but we know that maybe that happens occasionally. But if you want the really, really, really good talent, the person that's going to stick with you, you need to work with a recruiter. So tell us why a recruiter works better than a website.
Well, because we're live human beings.
That's a good one.
We are out there every day identifying, reaching out to, and talking to and communicating with professionals. A website is just that. It's a click. It's a mouse click. This is one live human being talking to another to find out what that person is made of, what their career is composed of, and how it would potentially fit our client's opportunity.
And you, as a boutique recruiter, as we talked about just a moment ago, you're involved in looking at a lot of resumes, speaking with a lot of talent. And I know that you've seen the good and the bad in terms of resumes, as well as job descriptions as well, because I know you and the folks that you work with are very involved in partnering with organizations to ensure that they are well positioned to attract that talent. But tell us about some of the worst things that you've seen, and maybe we'll talk about some of the best things if we have time too. But tell us about the worst resumes and the worst job descriptions that you've come across.
Well, the worst job descriptions are probably the ones that are 3 pages long.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You probably don't even know at the end of reading it what the person is supposed to be doing, as well as if that person really does exist.
There are 500 requirements, and that client wants to fill every one of them in one human being, and it won't happen.
Well, it sounds like you are an important educator to the CEO or to the head of recruitment or hiring at organizations, sort of a reality check, if you will.
It is. Every recruiting process is a sifting process. You start with the big funnel and you throw a lot of information in, but through the search and interviewing process, you really refine that requirement so that at the time that we're down to the final candidates, now the client really knows exactly what they're looking for, and we've got the candidates to match that.
We're chatting with Linda Nicholls of IMC Solutions, a boutique recruiting firm focusing on, you've worked with companies of all shapes and sizes, if you will, but again, a very unique focus on, or a lot of experience, rather, in working on finding sales professionals, HR talent, and recruiters as well, which is interesting because that's what you do, so you certainly know a thing or two about that. So you just described the absolute worst job descriptions that you've seen, as well as how IMC Solutions helps repair that process and working with companies. What about resumes?
Well, probably the number one frustrating trend that I see on resumes right now is for a candidate to not include their contact information. I see resumes without an email, without a cell phone, without a street address we don't need. I do need to know what city and state you live in, though.
That's basic if you want to help them get a job somewhere within 150 miles of where they live.
I like to say, what planet are you on if I don't know where you are?
Literally, what planet are you on if you're not filling in those details? So Linda Nicholls, you're a wealth of knowledge and information, a boutique recruiting firm, IMC Solution, and you're involved in partnering, hand-holding the companies that you work with, your clients, and helping them make sure that the process looks as easy as it can be, make sure that they're not getting, as those radio ads might say, millions and millions of applicants. You're making sure that they're getting the good applicants, the folks that are listing their address and their contact information, which is great. So Linda will, of course, have you on over the next few weeks. But until then, if our listeners want to get a hold of you and they want to continue the conversation about recruiting talent, how can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. They can call us at 630-637-6200 or visit our website, www.imcsolutions.com.
imcsolutions.com. Lots of tips and advice available for you. Speaking of tips and advice, after the break, I've got some tips and advice on how your business card should look, so you don't want to miss it. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. We are powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com or give them a call, 630-928-0510. Again, more tips and advice after the break. Thanks, Linda. We'll be sure to have you back on real soon.
Great.